I think Charlize Theron when Charlize Theron didn't die in who was the villain in Part 8? That wasn't Charlize Theron, was it? Was she the last villain? I think so.
Yeah, I think she was.
When
Yeah.
she didn't die, and then they were talking about spinoffs, I'm like, okay, like there's a lot of Fast and Furious villains who didn't die, but she was one of the smart and most craftiest one with all that technology. I bet I was thinking Charlize Theron was going to be the person that was going to bring together like a villain version of the Fast and Furious team. She's probably going to bring together the villain from Part 2 because he's alive, the villain from Part 3, he's still alive. The guy from Part 1, the Asian dude that was getting into it with Dom from Part. There a lot of them are still alive.
But look at all the rest of them. You have The Rock, Jason Statham's character.
Who was the guy who they fought against in Hobbs and Shaw? The half robot guy.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. They turned him off, but he's probably still alive.
Now that would be interesting.
I'm telling you, that's what Part 10 is going to be.
The Fast and Furious crew, the whole gang they got together, going against
all surviving villains. I'm telling you, I'm thinking, and the fact that because this is the first time that they brought back a villain. Because Charlize Theron might not be the main villain, but she's in the trailer pulling the strings and working with John Cena. So John Cena's gonna live, and he's gonna help try to, because he's supposed to be some super spy that can get in and out. He's made himself like the perfect opposite of Dominic, of his brother. So I bet she's gonna say, now go find what's his name? Idris Elba. Go break out what's the name from Too Fast, Too Furious? Break him out of jail. Get everybody. I'm telling you, he's probably maybe that's what he's doing in Part 9. He's probably collecting all because now that they lost Shaw and his brother, now that they're not villains anymore. That's two less people that they have to recruit.
And please bring back Ja Rule. Bring back.
He ain't coming back now. After that fire scandal, Ja Rule ain't coming. That's one character that I've always wanted to come back. I actually wanted to do a video about that. I was thinking about because he has the funniest line in that movie. Let's go, Minaj. That was to me. But that was Ja Rule's fault. He
wanted too much money.
He wanted too much money. He turned it down because Ludacris's character was the replacement. If that was the character he was going to play, was where he was going to fit in where Ludacris was in. And they were smart. They left the door open because they didn't give Ludacris that guy's Ja Rule's character's same name. They gave him a different name. So the door was open, and he still didn't walk through it for whatever reason. I'm sure now he would take it, but now they don't need him.
They don't need him.
They don't need him. They probably not gonna. They probably not gonna take it. It's fine. And so I don't know. So So the whole thing with John Cena. How did it look? I mean, I felt like his casting was just an FU to The Rock because he was cast while they were still beefing, but they're not beefing anymore.
Yeah. That's what it was. It just wanted to.
It don't feel right to me with him there. To me,
but I like John Cena as an action star. I do. I liked
him in Bumblebee.
Yes, he was very good in Bumblebee. I liked him in that movie where he was the stepfather.
I know what you're talking about. I never watched it. I liked him in that movie, that comedy with old girl, that comedian.
Yeah,
where she was dating him.
LeBron was in that movie.
Yeah, LeBron James was in that movie.
Trainwreck.
Yeah, he was because he had a limited role. You could tell he was very.
That was his first. That was his first movie. He was in something else.
The Marine. The Marine.
You're right.
He did the Marine, and that's when he was trying to catch up to The Rock. And he was like, nah, that ain't happening. but he. That was when he was still trying to. Now he's trying to come back to action, but his comedy movies seem to do better than his action movies.
He's got good comedic timing.
And he brought that in Bumblebee. So I thought that it was a good blend. You know, he was still action based person, but he was very funny in Bumblebee. It seems like she's trying to come back to all action again.